pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. Just a reminder to please mute your cell phone if you have one. Miranda, can we have roll call?
Good evening, Council. Mayor Bain, I'll start with you.
Here.
Councillor Garrell? Here. Councillor Lundstrom?
Here.
Councillor Scalise?
Here.
Councillor Sherman? Here. Councillor Spradlin?
Here.
Councillor Straub?
Here. Okay, we've all had a chance to look at the minutes for the regular meeting of April 26th. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, I'd look for a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councillor Lundstrom. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councillor Scalise?
Yes.
Councillor Spradlin?
Yes.
Councillor Garrell?
Yes.
Councillor Straub?
Yes.
Councillor Lundstrom?
Yes.
Councillor Sherman?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes. Okay, moving on to visitors and delegations. Citizen comments. Citizens are invited to speak to council on any item that does not have a public hearing schedule. There is a 5-minute time limit per person unless otherwise noted by the mayor. Please note that no formal action will be taken on an item that is not on the posted agenda due to the open meeting law provision. However, they may be placed on a future posted agenda if action is required. To better assist you with questions, please submit them in writing to the city clerk and someone from staff will respond. Is there anyone that would like to publicly comment tonight? Come right up. Oh, whichever.
Okay.
Okay.
I was going to say ladies first, but that's all right. Well,
Would you give us
you
a-
remember me? I'm Rob, the chicken guy.
Okay, can you give us your address?
It's 14 Circle Drive in
Okay.
here in Brush,
All right, thank you.
and
Go
my
ahead.
last name's Gifford. And I still am trying to lead the bandwagon for getting some chickens for us up here in Brush. And I just wrote down some comments. I saw a lot of banter back and forth on the little city page, and also in the concerned citizens page. There were several things going back and forth, both good and bad. Mostly good, I would say, though. Anyway, I'm just going to read this to you. Greetings. I said, please let us have chickens. That's my my first reply there. Here are just a few reasons that I believe chickens are beneficial to any community. You should not underestimate the importance of the learning lessons and satisfaction one can gain from caring for a small flock. Fresh organic eggs, obviously, are one thing, which are great. Chickens are the original recyclers. I see that the city is trying to promote recycling with the bins and what have you. There's a way you can recycle a whole different area, food waste, and turn it into something very positive, actually. Natural pesticides. Chickens love to eat bugs. We have mosquitoes, flies all over the place out here, and ticks, and they eat all of those. They also are great for weed control. I'm going to get back to this, but one of the comments about the not having chickens was that the city had trouble even controlling the weeds. But the chickens, they eat weed seeds, they eat the weed sprouts as they're coming up. So if you made it a mandatory for chicken coops to be on wheels or something so they could be moved from spot to spot to spot, you literally could take care of a lot of weeds in people's yards just with their chickens. Exercise and health benefits. Get a chance to get up and care for your chickens. It gets people moving a little bit. Gives them some responsibility, especially kids, if you have kids. And get them out there and teach them what they're doing. They can learn how to take care of stock, and they can feed themselves in the process. And with the way our world's going, that's probably a skill that it's not bad to keep learning. And then I put entertainment, because I don't know if you guys have ever watched chickens, but they're pretty funny. They're fun to watch, and I think they're very nice to have around. And you get free organic fertilizer. So that's my last point. The objections I want to answer real quick on the thing. One was rodents, and that is true. If you don't take care of the feed, you're going to get mice. But if you put it in trash cans, metal trash cans, you can stop a lot of that. The smell, and all I can say about the smell is it's going to be way less than when they bring the cows into the auction down here. on Thursdays. You know, it's not anywhere close to that offensive. The city can't keep up with the weeds, I already said that. Your friendly chickens will help. Noise, make sure, just put in there that they can't have roosters. Certain number of hens, just no roosters. Then there was one lady who said that those of us who wanted chickens should move to the part of the city that allowed chickens. And I would respectfully submit to her, maybe she might move to a metro district where they would allow chickens like Denver. And then I put, oh, but wait, they allow chickens in Denver. So that wouldn't work. In conclusion, having chickens is more beneficial than not having them. And that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you for taking the time.
You bet.
Anyone else? Darlene,
Same topic.
come on up.
So I saw Robert asking the city council for backyard chickens, and I know it came up way before. And at that time, I think I had just gotten off council, and Kimberly Dykes is the one that called and asked, what do you think about this?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Can we get a name? and
Oh,
address?
yes, my
Oh, I'm
name is
sorry.
Darlene Doan. I'm at 1450 Nedmond Street here in Brush, Colorado for 48 years.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And I'm hand-delivering a letter to the mayor because apparently that's something that's a step that was left out. Anyway, I'm just gonna read this letter. I'm respectfully requesting the city of Brush to allow my husband and I to be allowed to raise chickens in our backyards. We prefer to raise our own food when possible. We were both raised on a farm, and many people in this rural farming community were. We are asking the council to please amend the animal control ordinance to allow other residents to have the same choice. The city council could pass an ordinance or amend their existing ordinance to limit the number of chickens. I have a sister in Akron who has 4. They allowed 20. I have a brother in Fort Collins that has 8, which is what they allow. Noise would be a nuisance if every single yard had a rooster. However, I don't think every single yard will have chickens. I think a few may, and roosters would be a noise nuisance. So just ban them. That's what most of the cities I've checked into do. And you can also designate a place, a distance away from the neighbor's home. For instance, I would put my coop way in the back, which would be closer to the alley, away from the other homes, so noise and smell might not be as much of an issue. And I put et cetera on there because you guys are the ones that would lay out the rules. It's not me. All I'm asking for is, can I have chickens in my backyard? Probably 4. So please seriously consider this request. It's been brought to the council before, and at that time, there wasn't a majority vote in favor. And just, I was referring back to the same Facebook post on the City of Brush Facebook page. I mean, that's people who are interested in topics that you guys talk about all the time, and you always want to keep a pulse on your community, as you guys well know. So we counted 29 in favor and 6 who said no. When I got my business degree and studied marketing, they said for every positive response or negative response, you can multiply it by 10. So let's see, what is that? 290 in favor and 60 against. So I know that's nothing official. The data could be skewed, but in that instance, the City of Brush Facebook page said, yes, we want chickens. So another point I would like to make is that Brush is a sole Morgan County town that doesn't have a chicken ordinance. Every other one does. And I'm wondering, why are we so behind the times? A guy that moved here from the city probably thought a rural farming community would have chicken coops in their backyard, but we don't.
I did.
So I just wanted to support him in going through the official steps, the respectful way to ask the city council about bringing in something new for the citizens to choose from. You guys just set out the rules, you know, a permit process, whatever you want to do. You would be in control. It's just people like me who was raised on a farm can grow a few eggs. That's all I'm asking for.
Okay,
Cool.
all right, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Dunn.
Okay, moving on to number 5, management. Proclamation number 20-21-4 in recognition of National Police Week. This proclamation is given to honor those police officers that were lost over the last year. I would look for a motion to approve the proclamation.
I'd so move.
Okay, Counselor Scalisi makes a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Counselor Strauss, second. Any further discussion? Okay, at this time, we'll go ahead and have Counselor Lundstrom read the proclamation. I'm sorry, what? Oh, I'm sorry, roll call vote. Yes.
Counselor Sherman? Yes. Counselor Stroud?
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi?
I'm sorry. Me? Yes.
Counselor Spradlin?
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom?
Yes.
Counselor Guerrero? Yes. Mayor Bain?
Yes. Yeah, and one thing I wanted to note out, I wanted Counselor Lundstrom to read this proclamation because Larry was instrumental in putting on the night here last fall for our police officers, and it was something that went over very well in the county, and I think this proclamation is his, so.
All right, to recognize National Police Week 2021 and to honor the service and sacrifice of those law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty while protecting our communities and safeguarding our democracy. Whereas there are approximately 900,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including 12 sworn members of the Brush Police Department. Whereas some 60,000 assaults against law enforcement officers are reported each year, resulting in approximately 16,000 injuries. Whereas since the first record recorded death in 1792, nearly 23,000 law enforcement officers in the United States have made the ultimate sacrifice and have been killed in the line of duty. Whereas the names of the dedicated public servants are engraved on the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial, which was dedicated in 1991 in Washington, D.C. Whereas the service and sacrifice of all officers killed in the line of duty will be honored, and the names of the officers newly engraved in the memorial will be formally dedicated during the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund's 33rd Annual Candlelight Vigil on the evening of Thursday, May 13th, 2021. Whereas the Candlelight Vigil is part of the National Police Week, which takes place May 9th through 15th. Whereas May 15th is designated as Peace Officer Memorial Day with Federal Law PL 103-322, directing that all flags be flown half-staff on the day to honor our fallen police officers and their families. Let us honor law enforcement officers who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their community or have become disabled in the performance of duty, and let's recognize and pay respect to the survivors of our fallen heroes. Let us appreciate and support the courageous deeds of officers who risk their own lives and well-being every day. Therefore, be it resolved that the Brush City Council formally declares May 9th through 15th, 2021, no, I read that wrong, my bad, as Police Week in the city of Brush, Colorado, and publicly salutes the service law enforcement officers in our community and the communities across the nation. Given under my hand of the seal of City of Brush this 10th day, May 2021.
All right, thank you, very good. Moving on to 5B, this is a proclamation in recognition of National Public Works Week 2021. This proclamation is given to honor our public works employees who work hard every day to provide and maintain our infrastructure and provide services and facilities to the residents of Brush. With that, I would look for a motion to approve this proclamation.
So be it.
Councilor Lundstrom motions to approve, second.
I'll second.
Councilor Guerrero, second. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Counselor Stroud?
Yes.
Counselor Sherman? Yes. Counselor Spradlin?
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi?
Yes.
Counselor Guerrero? Yes. Counselor Lundstrom?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes. Okay, with that, Mayor Pro Tem Scalisi will now read the proclamation.
To recognize National Public Works Week 2021 and honor those serving our community through their efforts in water, wastewater, trash, streets, and stormwater. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance of sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, which high quality of life and well-being of the people of the city of Brush. And whereas these infrastructure facilities and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public work professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and wastewater systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential to our citizens. And whereas the year 2020 marks the 61st Annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association and the Canadian Public Works Association. Therefore, be it resolved that the City of Brush Council formally declares May 16th through the 22nd, 2021 as Public Works Week in the City of Brush, Colorado, and publicly recognize our Public Works and Utilities staff members for their hard work. Given under my hand and seal of the City of Brush this 10th day of May 2021.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to 5C, this is a proclamation in recognition of National Hospital Week 2021. This proclamation recognizes the extraordinary service healthcare professionals have provided during this very difficult time in our history. With that, I'd look for a motion to approve.
I would move to pass Proclamation 2021-6.
Okay, Counselor Stroud with a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Counselor Scalisi, second. Any further discussion? With that, Counselor Stroud, who actually works at the hospital. Oh, roll call vote. Sorry.
Counselor Spradlin?
Yes.
Counselor Sherman?
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi?
Yes.
Counselor Gravel?
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom?
Yes.
Counselor Stroud?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes. Well, as I was saying before, Counselor Stroud works at the hospital. He brought this to our attention, so I think it's only natural to have him read it.
Thank you. And real quick, I know obviously the last year or so has been hard for everybody, but I know the hospital staff has appreciated the support of the community, and it really means a lot. And I think this will mean a lot as well. So thank you all for doing this. To recognize National Hospital Week 2021 and to honor the service and dedication of healthcare workers nationwide and in our Brush community, whereas National Hospital Day was created in 1921 as a way to encourage trust in hospitals in the wake of the Spanish flu outbreak of 1918. It was later turned into a week in 1953, coinciding with Florence Nightingale's birthday, to honor her role in revolutionizing hospital care in the mid-1800s. And whereas for the past 67 years, hospitals across the country have come together to celebrate its history, technology, and dedicated professionals. And whereas National Hospital Week highlights every hospital, health system, and person involved in keeping our community healthy and providing the structure to deliver health care. And whereas East Morgan County Hospital and its attached clinics and departments are essential to the Brush Hospital, Brush community, and are trusted to provide top quality care and service. And whereas East Morgan County Hospital and its clinics have tirelessly fought the COVID-19 pandemic head-on, protecting and treating our community while putting themselves at risk. And whereas this week and always the Brush community extends its gratitude to our heroes in healthcare for their dedication and sacrifice. Therefore, be resolved that the Brush City Council formally declares May 6th through 12th, 2021 as Hospital Week in the City of Brush, Colorado, and publicly honors the service of healthcare workers in our community and in communities all across our nation.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, moving on to number 6, Finance.
I move we approve disbursements and payroll from April 26th, 2021 to May 8th, 2021 in the amount of $355,374.14.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Gravel?
Yes.
Counselor Stroud?
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom?
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin?
Yes.
Counselor Sherman?
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes. Okay, moving on to staff reports. First up, we have Rick Karoglian, Assistant City Administrator.
Good evening, staff. Don't have really anything to report. Very consistent, doing the same things I've been doing this whole week. But one, I guess, thing I'll highlight is been working with a couple developers, and it's kind of moving a little bit closer now. They're still trying to get the purchase of the land. If that happens, then I'll disclose to you who that is. But it's moving forward, and it's pretty exciting.
Okay.
So that's all I have.
I have a
Great.
question for you,
Yes.
Rick. Do you have any progress on the glass recycling?
No, I don't have any progress.
Okay, because my husband's about to strangle me because I have so much glass saved up. So I was just wondering if we
Well,
had made any progress.
I was gonna say that too, 'cause I think it's full and the summer's coming, so I
Okay,
guarantee
I'll
not
follow
only
up on
there's
that.
empty, it's probably all sticky and,
Sure.
you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Next up, Chief of Police, Derek Bloss.
One comment real quick on the glass. I know we can't touch that because everything's in bankruptcy. So I think we're just in a waiting mode right now.
Oh,
so.
Still finding a new vendor though, so that we can collect the glass that's been building up would
Yeah,
probably
and
be helpful. 'Cause
Beyond
there
me,
are-
I just know that we can't touch that one out there.
Yeah, there are citizens asking when we're gonna have glass recycling again. So
and we have been actively looking for one.
right, and that's why I was just asking for an update. But that's an interesting point. Even though it sits on our property.
Wow, okay,
Yikes.
All right. We're busy. We're very busy. We are helping Fort Morgan. They had a homicide a week ago. We have a major crimes team within the county that is involved in that, and we've been helping quite a bit with that. Also, with that, we are reforming the whole team, and the SWAT regional concept went very well, so now we're trying to make the major crimes team a regional team as well, which will give us more resources, more people, and I'm spearheading that effort right now, so we're busy. And thank you very much for the proclamation. That hits close to home and is very appreciated.
all right, thanks. Thank you, Chief. Okay, moving on to Joanne Gosling, Finance Director.
I will also add my quick little bit about the glass. That bankruptcy is coming to a close. I think they have all finally settled now, and so I don't know what we'll do about it, but it doesn't appear that anybody's coming to pick up that container anytime soon.
So we may have to dispose of it
So
ourselves?
we may have to dispose of it ourselves.
Okay,
And yes,
I don't know.
yeah. So that is where we're at on that, but that bankruptcy, I did get a letter today, and it has settled, so.
So the container doesn't belong to?
Well, you know, they was supposed to have got all of their stuff, and it was supposed to be sold at auction, and this container's still sitting here, so
Finders keepers, right?
I guess finders keepers.
Okay, all right.
The one thing I did want to talk to council about on finance is, in reviewing our general fund through the first quarter of 2021, we've collected 2% more than we've budgeted in revenues. We've spent 6% less than what we budgeted in expenditures, so we're on track for a good year again, even despite Rick and his building. I just have to throw that out.
I was like,
Have
she had to
pick
put
on
that
him.
jab in there for you.
And our sales tax, when looking at it, we've actually collected 2% more than we budgeted. And at this time, through the first quarter, that's 31,000 approximately.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you. Okay, next up, Lorenda Packard, City Clerk.
Just wanted to take a minute to talk about election. This is a regular election year. We have the mayor and one counselor in each ward term limited this year. And then we also have
Well,
one
not term limited. When you say term limited, I'm thinking second term.
Right.
The
So
end of their
current
term is
will
coming up.
end. I should have said that.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay,
Plus, we have one counselor in Ward 1 and one counselor in Ward 2 who were appointed by the council to complete the term on one counselor who resigned, and in Ward 2, we didn't have anybody run in last election.
right.
So they will also need to run in this election. So what that means is that all seats but Counselor Spradlin's will be on the ballot this year.
Counselor Spradden's the only guaranteed to be back.
Sticking around.
Okay,
So more information will be coming, but we just wanted to make sure we got that information out
okay.
to start. And then 2 reminders, National Hospital Week celebration this Wednesday, May 12th at noon. And then the Employee Appreciation Luncheon is this Friday at 11:30 for whoever can make it.
And that is at
The JC Building.
JC Building,
Mhm.
okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Dan Krob, City Attorney, okay. Okay, we'll move on to number 8, Marin Council reports. Is there anything council would like to report tonight?
Since we are in the process of thanking everyone this week, I would just like to make it a point to thank our firefighters. May 4th was National Firefighter Day.
Okay.
So I would just like to really thank the firefighters of Brush and, just our surrounding communities for all that they do. It's a really important job, especially when it's volunteer.
Very good. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, with that, I'll go ahead and adjourn, and we'll move into our work session. We have one topic in work session. Thank you.